Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 units for the Republic for Star Wars Legion. Now, this is not necessarily the top 5 best units that exist in the Republic. This is my top 5, my favorites, for a variety of reasons. If you guys enjoy Star Wars content, Star Wars tabletop gaming content, you're definitely in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed, leave a comment, like the video, share the video. All that stuff definitely helps. Also, there is still time left to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos letting me know what you love about Star Wars Legion. This is, again, if you're not familiar with Star Wars Legion, we've got lots of other videos, and you can definitely check those out. I've got tons. I'll link some at the end of the video as well. Also want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Amazing full metal tokens compatible with Star Wars Legion, as well as tokens for lots of other games like Magic the Gathering, Star Wars, X-Wing, and more. Head over to luxuryplaystyle.com. Check these tokens out. They are absolutely magnificent. Full metal, double-sided, gorgeous tokens, and you're going to save 15% if you use code Crabbok VIP. Orders that use that code that spend at least $35 are going to get a free Crabbok token thrown in. It's got the little C on the front. You're getting the Crabbok logo. You're getting 5 on the back for higher damage counts. It's also red on the back and blue on the front, so you're getting light side versus dark side, plus the lightsaber nunchucks are on the token. Definitely check them out at luxuryplaystyle.com. All right, so my top 5 for the Republic is going to consist entirely on things that I really like to run with the Republic. Now, this might be because they're good, but they don't. It doesn't have to be that they're good. I'm not necessarily trying to go for the best meta units. I'm trying to go for things that I enjoy running. Like, what are some of my go-tos? What are some of the first units that I look towards when thinking about building a Republic list? And so sometimes it's units that are fun, and that's usually a big part of it. So maybe they're thematic, maybe they're enjoyable to play, maybe they have a lot of different ways they can play, maybe they just really work with a lot of the stuff that I want them to do, and you know, there's a lot of interesting ways that I use to come up with the criteria for things that are going to make my top 5. So I want to know about your top 5 as well. Let me know down in the comments, and also join our Discord. We got a great family-friendly gaming Discord. There is links to it in the video description below. You can check that out, as well as Crabbok.com for that free Legion AI expansion. If you're looking to be able to play Legion against yourself, we have a AI system that is hosted for free that you can use over on Crabbok.com. So I want to start things off by addressing something that did not make this list, and it probably should have, at least by my standards, and that's Wookies for the Republic. Wookies, Wookiee warriors were on my rebel list of things that I like to see, like to play with, like to use, that are very fun for me. And I think there's, a lot of criteria that should put them on this list, and I chose deliberately to leave them off. And I'm going to mention why. By all merits, you have even more Wookiees available for the Republic than you do for the Rebels. So why shouldn't they all be on here? I mean, you've also got, you've got the Chieftain, plus the 2 Wookiee Special Forces. You also got Chewbacca as a commander, which is a little weird. I didn't think he should have been a commander, but I thought an operative would have made more sense, especially since Tarful should have been coming. That should have filled the other commander slot. It was weird to me. It seemed like the fact that they made Chewbacca a commander meant they had no plans of ever making Tarful, and a lot of people thought, like, why did they make a generic but unique, Wookiee chieftain? Were they not allowed to do Tarful, and they had to do generic instead? It was just very, very weird. So interesting stuff with that. Plus, you also have the Rat on Nass Pluttercraft, and so you definitely have all the makings of like a Wookiee battle force, and that's really why they're not on my list, is because you have almost all the makings of a Wookiee battle force, except for the actual battle force. So when I run Wookiees, or at least think about running Wookiees for the Republic, it bums me out that I have to run 3 clone troopers. I still have to abide by normal squad building rules and still have to run clone troopers. That is a big bummer to me, because granted, I'll always have the option to run clones and Wookiees together and just running a normal one, but there should be a battle force for Wookiees that don't require me to run clones. I should be. I mean, there's certainly a variety of Wookiees. We could probably use one or two more, but as most battle forces probably could use like one or two more things too. You have enough Wookiee material out there to create a battle force, and it's kind of a bummer that we can't. I can't run an all Wookiee unit. And I think so when I get ready to start building Wookiees, every time I have to add those three clone units in there, it makes me sad because it breaks the theme of the unit, and so it makes me if it makes me feel sad, I shouldn't include it in my top 5. So granted, Wookiees are cool, and we're so close to having them there. They'd be so much fun to run an all Wookiee battle force, even if they weren't like meta, winning everything. And I imagine they could be potentially pretty strong. But I'm really, I like, what are they waiting for? Like, give us the Wookiee battle force already. It would be, I don't even think it would be that hard. Maybe it would be, balanced strangely or something like that. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. All right, so let's go on with the actual top 5. Starting with number 5, it's going to be the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. Now, a lot of people will say the Phase 2s are better, and I completely disagree with those people. Yeah, I'm sure they've got the Surge on there, but they're more expensive. And look, the Republic got a lot of expensive units. Its cheapest core is more expensive than the cheapest core of anywhere else. Clones are expensivo. Quite expensive. I mean, Phase 2s are 60 points. All right, like that's crazy. So the Phase 1 clones are on here for a number of reasons. For one, they are the cheapest way to get the Z6 into my clone army. They're also the cheapest core option that fulfills your core requirement. I'm not counting pikes or anything like that, since those aren't really Republics. So the Phase 1s they're awesome for that. They're also great fire support options, and especially if I'm going to be using them for fire support, I don't really care about that one surge token that the Phase 2s could get, because like if I'm going to use them for fire support, they're not going to spend the surge token anyway. And since Republic in clone ability to use tokens has been nerfed multiple times, a lot of times that extra token just kind of sits in there and goes to waste anyway. So being able to only pull one token from somebody is rough. And now also standbys aren't even considered green tokens anymore, even though they are green. Imagine a green token that's not green being told that green is no longer green. You aren't seeing what you're seeing. This isn't the green you're looking for. So that's one reason why Padme is not on this list anymore. So yeah, ridiculous. Phase 1 clone troopers though are great for a number of other reasons. For one, the Z6. I love putting the Z6 or Z6 if you live outside of certain parts of North America. The Z6 is just really, really good. It's fun to have all those dice, especially being added to a fire support attack. It's beautiful. You can add like 11 dice to a fire support attack, and if that person happens to have surge to hit or some kind of ability to make better use of those dice than the Phase 1s can, all the better. But I love the idea of kind of rolling for crits and getting a fistful of dice and just throwing them down and just hoping and praying that you get something like hope. Rebellions are built on hope, and so are my dice pools when I play with Phase 1s. So that much is a lot of fun, and it's the cheapest way to get a really, really big dice pool like that. So I love that. But also the Phase 1 clones have a number of extra options because they did get that first round of, Phase 1 clone specialists, which the Phase 2s have, demonstrably less options. Phase 1s have a ton of options for upgrading them. So you can get that free aim. You can put the specialist in there. You can put, a leader on there and get, training or something like that. You can do a lot of cool stuff with the Phase 1 clones that you can't necessarily do with the Phase 2s. Heck, you can put Echo and 5s in the Phase 1 clones too if you want to. So lots of really cool options, a lot of build diversity, and also the cheapest, just, I need 3 cores, so let me just throw 3 Phase 1 clones in there too. So they fit the bill a lot of the time, and while they can just be checking that box, they also have the potential to become a lot of fun when you roll the whole lot of dice and just hoping that you get some crits and some good results in there, because sometimes it happens and it feels really, really good when it does. All right, on to number 4. It's going to be R2-D2. R2-D2 did not fit in my Rebel top 5, but he does fit easier in my Republic top 5, even though I'm showing the rebel version of the card here. He's the same version for both factions. R2-D2 is really cool, and I think he works a little bit better in the Republic than he does in the Rebels, because like of a couple of reasons. I'll say the first one is that, I mean, he's obviously he's gone up in points cost a little bit, but he's a really cheap option to give you an extra activation in the Republic, which is honestly pretty cool. The Republic has better need, like, you know, for a cheaper activation, especially a potential game-winning activation. So, you know, the Rebels just have a lot more cheaper, you know, units and stuff like that. So it's less impactful on the Rebels. So a little more impactful on the Republic side. But also, you know, you're getting some fun command cards. I love the blast off, you know, him, just the idea of him flying over and jumping and, you know, speed 2 for a turn. Can put 3PO with him if you really want to. I usually don't, because again, usually when I'm running R2-D2, I'm going for a cheap activation. But also you can go double secret mission with R2-D2 if you're running Padme. You can do like a double secret mission, which is kind of cool. And it gives you a lot of diversity in the way you're going to play your game. Having one secret mission already gives you some diversity, but running double secret mission can be like, that can scare your opponent. So like I just feel like there's a number of things that R2 has going for him that are really cool. And also if you can transport him, like if you're running a lat or something like that and you want to go drop him off behind enemy lines, that's kind of bonkers too. So pretty fun stuff. R2-D2 at number 4. At number 3, we're coming in with the Bark Speeder. I feel like the Bark Speeder is underrepresented, and that's one of the reasons why he's on this list, is that you don't see a whole lot of Bark Speeders. They've gone down in cost a lot, folks, over the years, and you know, they launched at 75 points, and right now they're down to like 55, and you can take a twin laser gunner sidecar with them to have like 7 dice on attack comes out to less than I think it comes out to like 73 points right now if you kind of kit them out with the laser gunner a little bit. So you can kind of run them a lot cheaper than you used to ever be able to run them before. So that's cool. Their support, you can run triple Bark Speeders if you want. A lot of people have Bark Speeders laying around because they came with those Clone Wars core sets. And then there was also the Bark Speeder expansion as well. I've always liked the Bark Speeders, though. I've got 3 of them, and I don't run them often enough, but I often think about, you know, hey, they work well for fire support. They also have speeder. And if you run the sidecar, they're going to go down to speed 2, but, you know, getting that compulsory move, even a speed 2 compulsory move, is really cool. Sometimes it's even better to have a shorter compulsory move because you have less chance of crashing. So I really like all of that. I like the compulsory move because it allows you to move and shoot, even if you're ionized. It allows you to move, aim, and shoot a lot of times. You know, it's very cool. I like the extra dice that they get. The fact that they can shoot 2 different guns is also cool. You don't have to run a sidecar on them at all. If you want to run this thing for just 55 points, you still have Arsenal 2. Granted, one of those attacks would just be the DC-15A blaster rifle. Now, the cool thing is that that's not fixed front, so you could shoot behind you. You do have surge to crit, so you're likely to at least put a suppression out there if you do that. So it could be a 55-point, fast-moving, objective-scoring, potentially game-winning unit that's putting out 2 suppression a turn, and also able to maybe move twice at speed 3. So, you know, just a whole lot of really cool stuff that you can do with the Bark Speeders. And a lot of different ways you can load them out with Ion, even. Ion's getting stronger and stronger as more and more heavies start to be coming into the meta. You know, a good way to kind of slow down those Dark Troopers, right? So, pretty cool stuff. Bark Speeder comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Yoda. Now, look, the Republic is a Jedi-heavy faction with hopefully even a lot more Jedi on the way. And so I love to run Jedi. I think all of the Jedi are fun. They're fun to run. I love Anakin. I love Obi-Wan. I don't love Anakin as much. I like Anakin. I love Obi-Wan, but I really love Yoda. And it's for so many different reasons. It's weird how much I like him. So for one, let's talk about his attacks, right? He's got a 4-die lightsaber that's impact 2, pierce 2. It's okay. It's like it's thematic. It matches like the smaller lightsaber, so he's not that much of a threat with the lightsaber. But he's got force waves. He's got a range 2 attack already. That's got blast and suppressive. I love blast on this. Works out pretty well because of surge to crit built in already, and of course surge for defense built in. So really good surges on a character that's got red dice already. And if he does take some damage, it doesn't cripple his functionality like Palpatine does. So I really like that. He's a lot of times he's seen like the good guy version of Palpatine, especially with his abilities like guidance, for example. Giving somebody else a non-attack action, so you can give them any action. Now, guidance is very, very strong because if you combine it with another Jedi who's got like charge or relentless, it lets them move, and then they can then get their attack in from there. So you can kind of work around that. And Yoda's like, hey, I only told him he could move. I didn't tell him he could shoot. Or
told him to move, I did. Tell him to shoot, I did not.
Or something like that, right? So that's how guidance works, right? But standby, also, right? It's got to be a trooper unit, though. Got to be a trooper unit. But free standby is really cool. Wish you could do that for the tanks, right? And Ataru Mastery is also very cool. You've got Immune to Pierce and Master of the Force 2. You got 3 Force options, and then, of course, the Leadership option. But his command cards. His command cards are also crazy, and they cycle back. So it's fun to play with Yoda's command cards. And they're really good command cards, too. Giving green tokens out to everybody. Used to be even better. Because he used to run Yoda with the tanks, and then he could do standby, and Yoda could tell Padme to stand by. And he could guidance on Padme. Padme could stand by. Then the tank could steal that. It was nuts. But then they changed it. They changed the green tokens. I think any token that Yoda helps come into the game should be green, because Yoda's green, right? I don't know. Shouldn't. Never mind. I don't know. Dad jokes.
All tokens I make green the areas.
So anyway. But yeah, so Yoda used to be really strong with the tanks for the Republic, but they really kind of nerfed that into oblivion. But I think he's still strong. I think he's like maybe less like one meta option for him is now off the table. But he's still fun. He's still flexible. He's still versatile. He's slow, but you can give him burst of speed. You don't even have to though, because one of his command cards makes him go speed 3, makes him go crazy, and he's spinning around and hooting and hollering and stuff. But yeah, he's got so many cool things that he can do with his command cards, and that you can just cycle them back through. I like that. I like being able to do that over and over again. And it also means that you don't have to worry about what else you're going to run. Like, it doesn't matter what other command cards I pick, because I'm just going to be playing Yoda's every turn. Usually you kind of keep Yoda safe so so he doesn't die and you don't lose out on that option. But yeah, I love Yoda, love his command cards, and love his flexibility. Guidance can go just about anywhere. Usually don't use Ataru Mastery. Usually not attacking with Yoda. Usually not. Usually I'm moving. Although, when you go to speed 3, then it's a decent time to consider attacking. But, or if somebody tries to engage Yoda, that's where I really feel Ataru Mastery. It's for defense. I'm like, are you going to actually bring Darth Vader and step up on Yoda? Because he's going to attack you twice. Granted, then you may stop him from doing other things, and he probably doesn't do guidance that turn or something like that. It's pretty interesting. But then you can do his free force actions potentially twice too. He can like force push, recover, force push again, and all that, which normally people wouldn't be able to do. So anyway, Yoda's got a lot of flexibility, a lot of different things that he can do. Plus, I love picking up barricades and moving them around with him too. It's but granted, anybody can do that, but Yoda's fun for doing that. And that's Yoda at number 2. Number 1 is going to be the TX-130 Saber class fighter tank. It's a tank. It's there's not many, there's a lot of like tank roles in this game, but this one is I think the one that looks most like a full-blown tank, and it's really cool looking. Even though it's still got hover, it's not a track. I think the Persuader and then the Empire's Gav tank are the only ones that actually have tread on them, but still, it's this one looks the part. It's really cool, and And it's a strong unit. 9 health, full armor. It's got hover ground. It's got outmaneuver, which is really cool if you are doing token sharing shenanigans. Granted, most of the token sharing shenanigans don't work on a tank, but some of it still does. So if you're thinking about running a tank and Padme together or a tank and Yoda together, there's sometimes a lot of that can still work. It's just not going to be as crazy as it used to be. You're not going to get the free standbys, which was kind of the point. So, I mean, a lot of what Yoda's doing with guidance is really only giving a trooper a token, but there is definitely still token sharing shenanigans to be had. Plus, you can run that clone pilot on the Saber tank as well, and you can do a little bit of token sharing shenanigans. But it's big, it's beautiful, it's hard to take down. And you got some cool Jedi commander options for it. They're not super strong, but it is kind of cool to, at least this was a way to get Aayla Secura and Plo Koon in the game too. And I know a lot of people have like printed out their own little stand-ins for Aayla and Plo Koon. Let me ask you this, considering that we've seen an ATST reissue, a new printing of the ATST, and effectively really the only difference was that we got a Chewbacca miniature and a General Vice miniature, little standees to go in there. Do you think that we're going to see a reprint of the Saber class tank with little standees for Aayla Secura and Plo Koon in there? Would that be cool? Or do you also think that maybe they'll hold off on those until they do like a ground version of Aayla Secura and Plo Koon and give us like 2 minis in the box, one for them on the regular and then one for them as they go into the tank? I think that'd be kind of cool thing to do, and a great way to get more Jedi into the game. Let me know some of your thoughts, folks. That's my top 5, and again, Republic's a fun faction to play. Maybe not the most competitive right now. The Republic has just been seeing so many nerfs and is in dire need for some new stuff to come out, whether it be Padawan, Ahsoka, Bad Batch is coming, or some more things, Clone Commandos. With a lot of the stuff we're seeing come out for Shatterpoint really needs to come out for the Republic. But despite all of that, I still really enjoy the Republic. I love running clones, especially maybe because they're seen to be the underdog, and it's a little satisfying to playing somebody that is not expected to do well, but going out and having a good showing of it anyway. So again, I really like the Republic. Probably my favorite faction in the game right now. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, it's definitely in my top 3 at least. I have to really sit down and think about it, but I enjoy them quite a bit. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely out of this world and help make this channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other, and let's hear that Wookiee roar.